Hello, this is Nick from Breaker Press Games, and in this episode of DCC Basics, we're going to talk about perception? Alright, before we get into the thick of it, if you find this video worthwhile, entertaining, or otherwise interesting, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. It's been a while since I've done a push for more subscribers. We crossed 500 a while ago, and it would be fantastic if we made it to 1,000. It costs you nothing to subscribe, so smash that subscribe button and let's barrel our way through to 1,000. Additionally, if you'd like to support Breaker Press Games further, you can pick up Breaker Press Games content through the Goodman Games web store, Exalted Funeral, Drive-Thru RPG, itch.io, and through the Breaker Press web store. In fact, I just put a few new things up. We've got the fourth printing of The Precipice of Corruption. This is going to come up again in this video. We've got Tragedy at Woodwitch Rise, which is my brand new adventure for levels 0 to 2. And then we also, where did I put it? We've got the Peculiar NPCs deck, which is a deck of 54 portrait cards. That's 52 people and 2 dogs. So check that out. Links will be down in the doobly-doo below. So, also, if you want to support in the ultimate way possible, become a member on Patreon. You can become a free member and get access to all of the work in progress content that I post, having to do with the various Kickstarters and what have you. Lately, I've been posting stuff from the upcoming Standard Courier Volume 2, so different NPCs. In fact, some of the NPCs that are in this deck have been featured just recently, so go check that out. If you want to support even further, you can become a paid member at $6 and above. You get cool stuff mailed to you every month, like pamphlet encounters and class guides. And those are available to you anywhere in the world. So yeah, go check that out. So yeah, let's get into the thick of it and talk about perception. So a few weeks ago, I did a video on skills. Check that right there. After I posted that one, someone commented that they would love a video on perception, which is a skill that does not precisely exist in Dungeon Crawl Classics or Mutant Crawl Classics. So, why doesn't it exist? Well, that's because in Dungeon Crawl Classics, the idea is, it being a more old school game, they encourage practical descriptions by the players. So what does that mean? It means that the example they use in the book is that a room covered in clay tablets that hides a secret door, you want to have the PCs go into the room and interact with the room. They're going to, try and take the clay tablets off the wall, or, tap on them and listen for different sounds. Those are the types of things that will then give the judge information in order to make a judgment call. Do they automatically find the secret door? Do they make a roll to find the secret door? It all depends on what the PCs do. So, with that being said, it just so happens that when I did the skills video, there is a section on skills that I did not cover for time, and that was skill checks for common activities. And 2 of the common activities that are on here are listening and searching and spotting. Listening is a luck-based skill, and searching and spotting is an intelligence-based skill. So what does that mean? Well, in the circumstance that the PCs, let's say, tried tapping on the tablets to see if they could hear something on the other side, whether it sounds hollow, you would have them make a D20 roll and modify that by luck. If they were, let's say, looking through, like, they saw in the description, let's say there were gaps between the tablets, maybe one of the tablets, they're like, is one of the tablets more worn than the rest? Okay, there is where they might automatically find the secret door, or they're rolling that skill check using an intelligence modifier, but maybe rolling a D24 instead of a D20. So there are different ways that you can rule on that particular circumstance. Now, it should be noted that different game designers or adventure designers utilize different things in order to give information to the players. So one of the things that is really common in design circles is that you are supposed to drop as many clues to lead the players to the information that they need to have to move on to the next thing as you possibly can. You do not want to hide a let's say the solution or the boss fight, what have you, the thing that they need to complete the adventure. You don't want to hide that behind something where it's a luck-based roll in order to figure that thing out. So you want to give them plenty of clues, plenty of information to get them to the result. Now, some designers will utilize checks. Some will want you to, break things down, as I just described with the clay tablet room. Additionally, I use a combination of those when I do my adventures. In the Precipice of Corruption, you will find that in rooms where they need to find certain information, it will have a thing that says searching such and such, and then it'll have an intelligence check that is DC 5, DC 10, and DC 15. If they roll a 5 or higher, they get a little bit of the information. They get a clue to the thing that they are trying to figure out. DC 10, they get a little bit more information about the same thing. And a DC 15, if they roll 15 or better, they get all of the information. And I do this in order to tease that out and to not penalize players for rolling poorly. But that being said, if they do the thing that they're explicitly explaining how they're going to get that particular bit of information, I might not have them make a roll at all, because that is the spirit of DCC, is that they are supposed to be pushing, prodding, and looking for things. And then when they make that roll, I will either modify it or have them ignore making a roll altogether. Additionally, in certain circumstances, like in Tragedy at Woodwitch Rise, which has a bunch of wilderness encounters. It's actually all wilderness encounters. If there is a tracker or a woods person or somebody along those lines, I might automatically, because sometimes the PCs, they're walking through the woods, and I give them a description that should lead them to ask about this thing, like, oh, there's a stump, and there's something hanging out of it, and they might ignore it completely. So then I might say, or maybe there's tracks, and there's hints that there are tracks, and they don't even like look down or what have you. Then I might have the woods person, hey, roll a d20 modified by intelligence, and then tease that information out to them. So it's not that perception does not exist as a concept. It's not a specific skill that is in the game of Dungeon Crawl Classics or Mutant Crawl Classics, but it is still a concept that you can utilize in your games. But think of the skill of searching as being an intelligence-based D20 check. Listening is a luck-based D20 check, generally speaking, and that first and foremost, have your players interact with with their surroundings, and then utilize that information that they give you to determine whether they should make a check and what kind of modifiers there should be on that check. And so that is how you handle perception in Dungeon Crawl Classics. I hope that was helpful to you. Thank you for suggesting that I cover this topic on the DCC Reddit. As always, thank you for supporting indie games and indie game designers. This is Nick from Breaker Press Games, signing off.